So Chloe Bibby hasn't played basketball in a while. Like, she hasn't played basketball since just after the All-Star break. And that's not an ideal scenario for her, obviously, coming into a WNBA season where I do feel like she's guaranteed her spot in the league. I do have to say that. Like, I feel like she is guaranteed a spot in the league. I think a lot of people are kind of overthinking it by wondering, oh, she got kind of benched with the Fever. Yeah, the Fever were good. She got benched by a good team. I thought she was good with the Valkyries. There are 2 extra teams in the WNBA. I would be shocked if Chloe Bibby did not do enough to keep her spot in the league. That being said, with the Fever, unlikely. However, Chloe Bibby has been injured for a while, and she has now come back playing for Girona in Spain. So today, obviously, was her first game back from a knee injury, which is 100 times worse, obviously, than the Fever led on. She was back and ready to play for Girona in Spain, who are one of the top teams in EuroLeague right now, and starts it off with a quick, nice and easy corner 3. Look, she shot 2 of 6 threes. She had 6 points, 4 boards in 13 minutes and 3 steals in a close game. And look, that's what Chloe Bibby's going to do. Like, I don't necessarily think she's a 20 point per game scorer anywhere. She's just money. She's just money with a super high release point. She's just better Dantas, in my opinion. And I would be really interested to see who ends up signing her or whether or not she's taken in the expansion draft, because Chloe Bibby is somebody that absolutely is an interesting player for a team to take in an expansion draft, because she's going to be on a relatively minimal salary. She is a free agent where, in a way of like, I think she's a reserved free agent. So wherever she goes, you're guaranteed to be able to keep her. Like, you can't, she can't negotiate with anybody else. So if you are an expansion franchise and she's a big name, like, that matters. I don't think people are really overly talking about it when it comes to these teams, especially if you are an expansion team. Like, it really matters having a player from the Indiana Fever, for the reason that these players are bringing a fan base with them. Chloe Bibby is a well-known player. She's a popular player. So having a player that comes from the Fever helps. Like, when it comes to the Valks, there are a lot of Fever fans are watching the Valks to watch Temi. There are fans that will watch the Tempo to watch Chloe Bibby. So it's one of those things where absolutely you have a player in Chloe Bibby who is good enough to be in the league, good enough to be a solid player. And the assumption is that she's probably going to keep her spot in the league. I don't think it'll be with the Fever. I just don't think she fits what Steph White wants to do. Steph White wants to play her to 3. She's not a 3. She's just not. Doesn't have the foot speed to guard the 3s. And the problem with Steph White is that she's, not even with Steph White, with the Indiana Fever, is that you've got pretty much 2 to 3 players that you're going to have to kind of go and build or like hide on the defensive end. You can't really play her with Caitlin. That's the problem, is you can't really play Chloe Bibby with Caitlin Clark. You're going to be very good without Caitlin. You can't really play her with Caitlin, because she can be attacked on the defensive end. She can absolutely be attacking the defensive end. And that's the thing where it's like, if you are able to attack Chloe Bibby, it kind of fucks up your whole defense. Like, I don't think she's the worst defender in the world, but it's one of those things, especially with the way that the Fever want to play defense. I don't think she fits what Steph White and Breanna January want to do on the defensive end. So yeah, my guess would be that she's going to end up with one of the expansion franchises, and not necessarily to be one of the faces of the franchise, but we saw it again when it came to like even Kate Martin, like former teammates of Caitlin Clark. Like, they are bigger draws in terms of jersey sales. That's the same even to a lesser extent. It's part of the reason why people draft UConn players all the time. People always draft UConn players and part of the reason for that is that UConn players, you're going to sell jerseys. Like, they're not all just there for jersey sales, but you're going to sell jerseys, and that obviously helps things. obviously that helps things. But yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. That is, in my opinion, what I feel about Chloe Bibby and the Fever. And it's good to see her back playing. I still think it's a bit ridiculous what the Fever did. I think what the Indiana Fever did was crazy. The Indiana Fever realistically lied about an injury, because they said Chloe Bibby wasn't actually injured. They said Chloe Bibby she wasn't injured, and that it was just a little bit of swelling. And 4 months later, she's just played her first game again. And that is a concern. Like, that is a really, really big concern. Like, early August was the last time we saw Chloe Bibby on a basketball court. And we saw them basically doing what they could to get Chloe Bibby, or to try get Chloe Bibby out for a game, and her knee was swelling, and it said, oh yeah, she's not really injured. And it turns out, no, she was really fucking injured. It wasn't just that she was a little bit injured, she was really, really injured. She was badly injured. So yeah, that's pretty much like the problem when it came to the Fever with Chloe Bibby. Like, they didn't have, as far as I'm aware, they could have replaced her. They went into the playoffs with 11 healthy players. I think they could have replaced her, and I think they obviously brought in Brie Hall. Maybe they just didn't want to bring in extra players. But it was always just a weird thing when it came to her. To be fair, the Indiana Fever's medical team was just strange, and I think we saw, obviously, them bringing in kind of a new medical team. I think everybody kind of knew something was gone wrong with Fever's medical team. Everyone knew something was up with that. It wasn't normal. And all I'm going to say is that there was a response that I got from somebody that I'm not going to say anything more, when I tweeted out basically, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, nothing that's going right with the Indiana Fever team. The way they're reporting injuries, none of this is normal. If this was the NBA, they would be fined. Somebody responded, and I'm like, there's no point speculating on that. That makes me think, yeah, that this was not just us fans being a little bit out of the loop here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you want Chloe Bibby back on the Fever? Do you guys think Chloe Bibby is better off somewhere else? Or do you guys think that Chloe Bibby is not a WNBA level player? I think she's a WNBA level player. I'm going to be honest. I think she is. That is my opinion on it. That Chloe Bibby is a player that is a W player, but maybe isn't, maybe a Fever, especially the Fever with Steph White, is not the perfect fit for her. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. See you guys.